Oh my gosh, did we do the show last week?
Did we?
Yes, we did. I forgot. I just remember what we talked about. We did. We totally did.
What did we talk about?
We talked about the Omegaverse.
Oh, yeah. How could we forget?
Yeah.
I feel so matronly today. Like, look, get this cardigan. I've got my glasses. I feel like Arthur, and I've got like a cup of tea. I'm like, oh my god, guys, I'm getting old.
Every day when you're walking down the street.
Hey, shout out PBS, man. Shout out PBS kids. What was
We
your show?
public television, huh?
What was your show on PBS Kids?
I really, well, it depends on the age. I was a big Barney fan, like growing up, like when I was a smaller kid.
I wasn't allowed to watch Barney.
Oh, sure. But when
Add it to the list.
when I got older, I really liked Arthur. I liked the spin-off show. I liked Postcards from Buster.
A
I
classic.
really liked Postcards from Buster. I liked Zoom. I liked Dragon Tales. I liked Maya Miguel a lot.
That was my shit. We used to watch it every morning before
Yes,
school.
I loved it.
Maya Miguel, Word Girl was huge for us because
Word Girl.
Word Girl, Between the Lions. What's the other one?
Did you ever watch? I don't think it was PBS, but did you ever watch Lazy Town?
Of course, I watched Lazy Town. What was that on?
I think it was on. It was on Nick. Was it Nick Jr.?
Maybe. Did you ever watch Crashbox?
No.
Okay, so Crashbox, it was this show on like I think it was on HBO, but like for kids, and it was like this weird. It was like robot themed. I wonder if anyone else has ever seen the show. It was like kind of robot themed, but it would be like these games that would come up. It was like in like different segments. I was obsessed with that show. Go check it out after this. Go check out Crashbox, everybody. It was a good one.
You know what I really liked? Did you ever have like the vintage Nickelodeon channel where they played like the old shows from like the 90s? And like it also shows of just if you've ever seen the what's the Quiet on Set documentary, years later it all it's like were they doing all that? The like Legends of the Hidden Temple and stuff like they had these kids in essentially Survivor. Like they had these kids doing like the craziest, like hard down game shows.
Yeah. Or shout out Fetch with Rough Ruffman. I still think as a child I could have won that. Have you ever heard of what was it called? Like Kid Town? So it was essentially I think that's what it's called. It was essentially like it was an Australian show, I think. And I watched it like it would air for one season because they just got sued and sued and sued. And it was essentially like kids, I think the kids were like they were like 7 to like 15 and they were basically prompted to create their own society like without adults. But they would like leave them there like 24/7. And so you like like you said, a legal nightmare because kids would get hurt, kids get whatever, like they had town hall meetings. So that was the only way you could leave is you could express that you wanted to leave at the town hall meeting of the society that these kids built. I was watching some weird shows when I was young. That was one of them. Shout out Bindi the Jungle Girl.
Oh yeah, that was a good one. Did you watch Liberty Kids?
No. No. Did you watch Gullah Gullah Island?
Duh. I'm from South Carolina.
I was making sure because I was talking to somebody about it the other day and they're like, I've never heard of that. And I was like, well, I don't know what to tell you.
They definitely played it down here just because, Charleston is in South Carolina. So that's where the Gullah Geechee culture really comes from, like that side of the state. So it was a big thing here.
as it should have been.
Of course.
Wait, but we said, not we, I said that the theme of this episode was actually going to be reality TV. So before we talk about Dynamite, Lyric, what are some of your favorite reality TV shows and moments? And you
Oh,
guys share in the chat too, because I want to know.
well, of course, I am a sucker for Real Housewives of Atlanta, obviously.
As we all are.
Everything that Nene Leakes has probably ever said.
I still
What
say a white refrigerator.
a wire refrigerator.
I go
Um,
apartment hunting. I'm like,
I love Flavor of Love.
I don't
I love New York, of
have
course, the classics. Charm School, Real Chance of Love, Rock of
what
Love.
what is Charm School?
Basically, so Charm School was when Monique got her own show on VH1 and took the girls who had been in the seasons of Flavor of Love and tried to turn them into respectable women. Oh, I loved Bring It.
I am screaming. Oh, I loved it. I loved that show.
And Bring It came out when I was on marching band, and like I marched for a HBCU style band with like a majorette team. So it was like really just really like relevant to like the life that I was living. Um
See,
what else did I like?
it was kind of like the opposite for me. It was one of those things that like my dad went to an HBCU, my mom didn't, but like I live nowhere near any, you know. So it was always learning to appreciate it from like a distance because I was like, you know, and Bring It, I was like, they get down like this. I loved it, especially because I was a huge Dance Moms person. Baddest heifers on the floor. I was a Dance Moms girl, and then I went to Bring It, and so I was like, oh my god, finally, Black people.
Yes, and also too, just like seeing like how the parents are moving, like especially I was on a really competitive band, and we were in competitions all the time. Like that was genuinely my life. Like I was the instrument, but obviously we had a dance team, and it was just that was the life that I was living. So it was so interesting. Like we would all watch it. What else did I like? Basketball Wives, Basketball Wives LA, Love and Hip Hop in Atlanta.
I can never
Um,
love hip hop.
I was into it more like I don't really watch these as much now. Like the only reality TV I watch now for the most part is I watch Real Housewives of Atlanta. I've recently gotten back into that. I watch Potomac every now and then. Um but I will say I could tell y'all not really in it for the love of the game no more the way they used to. Everybody just wants to be
No, no, no.
no,
They're
everybody just
not because you know what?
the
You know what?
mob was. Shout out the
I
mob.
last was it last year? Maybe earlier this year. I started watching maybe the reality show of all reality shows. Not my favorite, but a show that I was like, wow, this is what this genre is intended to be. Lyric, you ever seen Vanderpump Rules?
No, but I've heard of it. It's a
Okay,
big
I'm not gonna go too into it because mainly people know about it is like season 10. There's the big cheating scandal, and you know it kind of unravels the whole show. Right? The first 2 to 3 seasons of the show are insane because they actually work at this restaurant. That's the premise of the show. Like, it's these people that work for Lisa Vanderpump's restaurant, like dead ass. And they were actually friends before the camera showed up. And they was actually already fucking each other and screwing up all the friendships and all the relationships before the camera showed up. The first 2 to 3 seasons of this show, these people are not, yes, they're aware that there's cameras, like whatever, these people are living their messiest lives because that's what they want to do. Like it is truly it's truly, and you know what, for whatever reality TV villain y'all think of, I will raise you Jax Taylor. That man is the worst human being to ever grace any screen, and he's not even the guy that did the whole cheating scandal. It's a different guy. He is literally the worst person that you could ever see on screen. And then literally every time he gets called out for anything, he does crazy shit, man. Anytime he would get called out for anything, he would like they would be like, you've been lying about this for 2 years. And be like, yeah, so what? So what? I don't care. Truly,
Wow.
truly the world's first sociopath on reality TV, I fear. So if you guys are and it's like, it truly is like you build to that big catastrophic cheating scandal for 10 seasons.
They're like the biggest ratings mover, I think, on Bravo now.
It,
Like like,
the show is not, obviously, it's kind of like Atlanta. Like, it will never be what it was at the beginning. But man, you talk about a show that is, they struck gold with that whole cast.
yeah, Chloe, I also watched the Glee Project. I watched several the
You
early
look
seasons.
like you watched the Glee Project.
I'm not going to justify that with a response. But I, I watched the early seasons of America's Next Top Model. I watched the early seasons of Project Runway.
I've seen every episode of Project Runway. That was, for some reason, that was my, and then I found out it was a Harvey Weinstein production, and I screamed, cried, throwed up. But like, like it was like one summer when I was like, I think I was 20. It was all I would do. I would just wake up, go to work, Project Runway, Project Runway, Project Runway, as if I was planning something. Um, yeah, that's a good one. And the best episode of Project Runway, or the best look to ever come out of Project Runway. Well, the best designer is obviously Christian Siriano, but the best look to ever
Obviously.
come off of Project Runway was that look. I think it's very early on in the finale where that guy does the rain comes down and like changes the color of the thing. Y'all want to talk
Do you
about
remember
snap?
the WWE Divas episode?
I didn't watch Divas.
No, but there was a episode. This is before like all of that. There was an episode of Project Runway where the challenge was to
You're
create.
right. You're right.
Yeah.
You're right. Right. Um. Yeah.
I was
Wait.
just about to ask that. Did you watch Total Divas? I wasn't a I wasn't really a Total Divas girl, which is crazy because most people our age, I'm not gonna say most, but there's like a large handful of like women in our age group whose introduction to wrestling was through Total Divas. And I
Yeah.
also believe like that's why we have a lot of the discourse that we do now because of
Me
those
too.
very
Um. Because
different.
because a lot of people can't accept reality TV for what it is. Reality TV. Like
Absolutely.
but no, I definitely feel like a lot of people our age definitely got into it that way, and I think a lot of people would expect us to have been Total Divas girls because we are reality TV girls and
Yeah.
wrestling girls. But no, I was never interested in Total Divas. As I said, I didn't really watch wrestling when I was younger because I would tune in every once in a while, and I really didn't like the way that women were being portrayed, and I didn't like the way that women were, being treated on screen, and I was like, even at the age of like 7, woke as fuck. I was like, this lame as hell. And my dad also woke as fuck. Be like, this is lame as hell. Why they do that to them girls? And then
I'm
people
also,
were like, watch. Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
I was gonna say I'm also a believer in like how do I say this of and maybe it's the dichotomy of existing in like multiple worlds at one time, but like when it comes to like being like a woman, I like to keep like my sports and like my reality television stuff very separate. Like of just when my expectations for my wrestling are very high, like hardcore. Like
Yeah.
I don't need cinema. I need graps. I need
Ring
wrestling.
the bell. Yeah.
Like I'm all for certain looks, and if you want to do that, you can go do that on Bravo. Real Housewives of Atlanta is always hiring. Zeus Network is always hiring.
Don't do not invoke Zeus Network.
But still, like you know what I'm saying, right? I'm just like that's
I do,
great.
and I agree. I feel the same way, which is why I can never. I was like, if we're gonna be serious, then let's be serious, but let's not do this back and forth. I was the same way. And even now, like I have no interest in going back and watching it. And I do have a certain appreciation because, like I said, I know that's the way a lot of girls got into it because of Total Divas. But as a consequence, right? Well, not a consequence, but like
It is a concept.
subsequently, I don't have that same reverence for the Divas girls and the Divas era as a lot of people do. Just because I don't have that emotional attachment, and I was only looking at ring the bell grabs. So No tea, no shade, no disrespect. Wasn't for me.
It's
Appreciate what you did, but not for me.
It's really affected the way like we define what a legend is. Like I think being the best wrestler and being the best WWE superstar are two completely different things. Like especially when we talk about legacies of women's wrestlers and all time, like of just like if you said the Bellas are some of the greatest WWE superstars of all time, I would say absolutely. Like 1000%.
Yes,
You
because
said
that's a
that
different thing.
you say that the Bellas are like Nikki or Brie are both of them greatest women's wrestlers of all time.
That's not
Come
true.
on,
Exactly. And a
come on.
lot of people conflate the two.
They're not the
Understandably because of the way that they got into it, but also because of WWE's monopoly. But I don't want to get into that. This was because we will yap about that. I had a point. What was I gonna say? Oh, you know what, Lyric, before we talk about Dynamite, let's address the more pressing issue, right? Without doing a full WrestleDream review, because that will come out on Black Girl Wrestling tomorrow. Um, there was a moment in WrestleDream that seems to have garnered quite a bit of attention online, right? Lyric, I want you to go on the record first, and then I'll go on the record. Has AEW gone too far? What about the kids? Do you
You
think that
know
this will kill children?
I want to set the scene for everybody. WrestleDream is the first pay-per-view in a while where I didn't have to work. So and like do the live blog and like live updates. So I heading into this pay-per-view, I went to the liquor store. I purchased libations. Like when I say I knew for a fact that I was gonna be chilling. Okay. So like I'm watching this pay-per-view having a ball. You know this. I'm texting the group chat, like, bro, this is amazing. So like when I woke up the next morning and I saw the things people were saying, I said, y'all talking, we talk about the same show.
Because my timeline, everybody was like, man, that wasn't nothing.
That's how I know that this is how I know that AEW is getting popular again. And nobody wants to admit it, but this is how I know. It's because whenever AEW is getting somewhat popular again, there's always we have a lot of visitors. I said, first of all, why are all y'all watching WrestleDream? What
You
happened?
don't even go here.
Y'all
You
don't
don't even go here.
Why is everybody watching WrestleDream? This is supposed to be our little town. Our
Hate
little
keeping. Somebody coined that under one of my things earlier this week, and I was like, that's the best phrase ever. Hate keeping.
like like we was in our little town, our little box, enjoying our little show, you know. And then suddenly all these visitors talking about they went too far. Meanwhile, hardcore fans talk about they didn't go far enough. Why didn't you hang Darby by his toes?
Put him in a
Why
mouse trap, which they've done in the past.
nobody?
They have hung him by his toes in the past. So
You know,
that is a real thing that has happened.
everybody's like, why is he not dead?
Like, why is he not? Why is he alive?
And
You know what?
I'm like, y'all talking about that fish tank spot. This person, John Moxley, took a wooden skewer and stuck it under a man's fingernail.
That was nasty. That was my favorite part.
You talk about the fish. That's why I'm like, fuck that fish tank.
You know what? And honestly, to me, like I said, the nail thing was crazy. What Claudio did to that man was probably the worst of the worst.
Used him as a battering ram.
He bonked. But you know what, Lyric?
And then my head hit the wall. And I began to pass out.
I wanna give a serious take and then a Danielle take, right? Serious take. Watch your kids, man. If your kids watching a death match at midnight behind a paywall, that's on you. That's on you. And if your kids wake up in the morning and they try to replicate something that they know they shouldn't replicate from a death match that aired at midnight behind a paywall that they watched with you because kids do not have $50, then that's on you. And you shouldn't let that happen. That's dangerous. Now, you can give a real take and then I'll give a fun take.
I was gonna say AEW is a TV 14 product. And so I just This is my problem with y'all. Whenever y'all get frustrated with WWE, because that's what it's all about. Whenever y'all get frustrated with WWE, you start picking on. Hey, guess what? We do stuff differently over here, y'all.
That's the point.
That's the point. You said that you like PG, so go like PG over there. You know, like yeah, get ready for Survivor Series. You don't have to watch it. Also, it's expensive to be an AEW fan. There's a pay-per-view literally every month starting in March, and they are full price, bro. Like, nobody is forcing you with a gun to be up. The pay-per-views are too long. Y'all are paying ESPN $34.99 a month for
you are under spells, people.
For 5 matches and ads. They got you watching CM Punk versus Big Yeet for the world title.
And you know what?
Jay Uso about to get his second belt.
See, you know how far removed I am from all this? I have no idea what's going on over there. Literally less than nothing. Someone
only know this
today was like, "Oh, you know Seth's hurt. He's gonna be gone for a while." I said, "What happened?" No idea what's going on over there.
Don't get me wrong. I think that it's awful that he's injured, but
of course,
y'all can get enough.
We don't wish that on anyone.
Y'all gonna get enough of trying to work the fans like he did months ago with that fake injury just to pull off these highs. But it's not worth it.
You're under spells, people. Let me share how I actually feel about the AEW and children thing, right? I tweeted this and people thought I was playing. I did not watch wrestling as a child. I don't have brothers. It is just me and my 2 sisters. The things that we came up with in our twisted, demented little minds would truly, like, I think it would, some of y'all would spontaneously combust. Like I said, when we used to play Barbies, every time, without fail, I would kill all of the female Barbies and make all of the male Barbies single dads. Every time. And it was always in a big traumatic event. So it would be a car crash that everybody was in and everybody had to witness it. And then they would all get PTSD from the car crash. Or sometimes after I learned, oh, this is really bad. After I learned about slavery, and I knew how bad it was, I wanted to make sure that my Barbies understood the gravity of it as well. I was the world's wokest 8-year-old with a strange mind. My point being, right? Kids are violent, kids are odd, kids are gonna try shit. Should your kid be looking up to Darby Allin? No. No.
Somebody said I am the first person in my bloodline to hear these words told of each other.
Oh, they go clip me, Your Honor. It's true though, and sometimes I would like, and my sisters would get on that too because I would, when we played Barbies, we would play all together, and we like tie jump ropes around their neck and we like throw them over the stairs, and we would say that they were bungee jumping, and then they would fall. They would have a bungee jumping accident. And then again, all single fathers. A lot of times they were on welfare.
I didn't like dolls for very long, so I wasn't into dolls for very long.
We were Barbie girls down.
I stayed in the dolls maybe for like the first 5 years of my life, and I was not into dolls like that. And even the dolls that I had, I remember there was a Destiny's Child set that was released, and it was in blue, and there was a blue sequin set. And I remember there was Beyonce, a Michelle, and a Kelly, and me and my sister both, because it was just 2 of us that went. We both wanted to be Beyonce, and so we fought so bad on Christmas Day. We had to go back to the store on December 26th to get a second Beyonce. But by the time I was into wrestling, my brother was actually born a week before I watched wrestling for the first time. So like when I got into it, much like I am now, I was obsessive. Like I was 8 and I went to do everything. He got Batista bombed so many times. Like, bro, when I say I was flinging him here, there, and everywhere to practicing wrestling moves on him.
See, my sisters and I did that too. We just weren't watching wrestling. I was just throwing them around. And since I was in the middle, I was getting thrown around by my older sister and then doing the throwing to my younger sister. So we didn't have the words for it. That's why I'm like, kids are insane. Kids are twisted. Kids will find ways to, to act out, is my point. Should your child be looking up to Darby Allin in absolutely any capacity? Fuck no. Should your child's hero at the age of 8 be Jon Moxley? Debatable. Debatable. Is that a healthy choice to make?
No.
One could argue no. I would go a safer route. Who's a good person for people to look up to? And all the people yes, but she get down in death matches too.
Bianca Belair.
Yes. I'm trying to think of AEW because I think I'm gonna do like a parallel of the Ospreay thing. I think I'm gonna do a deep dive into AEW and to see whether or not it's actually like suitable for children of any age.
Bandido kids.
Bandido's a great answer. Absolutely. You should look up to Bandido. Do not look up to Darby Allin. Do not look up to Jon Moxley. My first thought was like, oh, you can look up to like a Kenny or an Ospreay, and then I remembered, no,
freaks.
They're freaks. They don't like to show it all the time, Yeah, shout out gang. Kenny Omega Glazing section. Happy late birthday. We loved seeing you at WrestleDream. Get your boots ready, girl. We got big plans for ya. Absolutely. But anyway, I guess we can talk about Dynamite. It's been half an hour.
Many have said this.
Had a show tonight. It was called Dynamite.
Well, we did the fallout from WrestleDream. Oh, well, outside of the children part, what are your quick thoughts about WrestleDream?
My quick thoughts about WrestleDream.
Do it like this.
Oh, go ahead.
I'm gonna do it like this.
Sure.
I'm going to read out the card, and you're gonna tell me 5 words to describe what you thought about it.
Okay.
Let me pull up. All right. Well, since it ended up going into the main card, FTR versus Jet Speed.
Xfinity fucked, didn't see.
Cool way to start pay-per-view. Jamie versus Thekla.
Xfinity still fucked, didn't see.
Really good. Should have been Queen Aminata.
Well, I can agree with that without having seen the match. Yes.
$500,000 tag team match: Jurassic Express versus Young Bucks.
Fucked so bad. Y'all broke.
Tag team wrestling royalty. That was excellent. Absolutely excellent.
I love him back.
Yes. Kenny with the Inoki forever. It really got to me. I felt it. Willow felt it. We all felt it. What else? Oh, the Hurt Syndicate versus the Demand.
Fine. Same as Street Fight.
Good. Demand should have won. Kyle Fletcher versus Mark Briscoe TNT Championship.
Put his protussy in this.
Agreed. Agreed. Mercedes Moné. Oh no, sorry. Chris Statlander versus Tony Storm, women's world title.
Much better than first bout.
Great match, better finish.
Agreed.
Mercedes Open Challenge versus Mina Shirakawa for a Ring of Honor interim women's world television title match.
Loved it. Both very confident.
Yes, this was a really, really good match.
I loved that match.
And I hate all of you. I was about to say something crazy.
I can guess.
All of you crazy. Mm, the names I've been wanting to call people who've been talking crazy about Mercedes lately is
We don't get into that, so
it's
save
broad.
that.
Anyway, y'all review bombing this match on Cage Match the way that you did. I want to actually throw rocks at your house.
Loser behavior.
This match actually rocked. I digress, but I'm very excited about. We'll get into that. We'll talk about the stat challenge for Full Gear. Bandido versus Okada and Takeshita.
Tattoo it on my eyelids.
Correct. Agreed. Um, Adam Hangman Adam Page versus Samoa Joe.
Um, good match will be better.
Yes. It just felt like it was an appetizer.
Absolutely.
An appetizer. Also, how many times have we watched Hangman get hogtied this year?
And you know the funniest part to me is that Kenny be picking and choosing what he cares so bad.
He said nobody had shit for my man. Nobody, I ain't got shit for nobody. Nobody had.
Nigga, I know you here.
He said,
And we on good terms now.
he said nobody had nothing for Kota Ibushi. Nobody had nothing for Kota. Bet
He not
I
wrong.
ain't got nothing for y'all. He said I ain't got nothing for y'all. He
That's
said,
mine, and I'm gonna stick right beside him. And I can't be mad.
you know, many have said this. And Darby first is John Moxley.
Very fun. Not enough blood.
What about the children?
I'm gonna start saying that all of the time.
Also, like, guys, Sting, Silver Fox Sting is kind of.
And I liked the finish. I understand a lot of people didn't like the finish. Here's what I will say, right? I don't understand. It's a long-winded thought, but stay with me, right? Remember when I said a million times over, but a long time ago, that it felt like they didn't know how long it took to climb Mount Everest. I actually think that thought. Wait, I think that comes back up because y'all were like, "Oh, okay, we don't have to think about it now. Like Hangman's gone." I don't think that they considered that they were gonna have to do the payoff to this feud at WrestleDream, which is going to take place in a state that doesn't really allow for you to bleed. I don't think that y'all thought that through.
That's why I think that also they extended this feud. They said, "Ah, man."
I really do think so because by all intents, for all logical reasoning, that should have died on Sunday. But it was a good match. It was y'all got creative ways in how to torture people, but everybody was expecting a much bloodier affair, and you know that. I don't think that y'all counted in y'all's head what pay-per-view this would put you at, and then nobody checked. And then here we are.
Mine still hasn't really taken any damage, like as far as like, and so I do think that the next blood will be from him. And they did a good job of setting it up, and we can go ahead and get into that. So we kicked off.
And I liked the finish. I thought the finish made sense. I know a lot of y'all didn't, but I think it made sense.
So we kicked off Dynamite tonight with the Opps versus the Hurt Syndicate for the World Trios belts. I really like this match. Listen, the trios division is hot. The tag division is hot. I said the women's division is hot. I said, oh my God. I don't know how y'all gonna do this. AEW.
I got plans.
When Ospreay and Swerve come back, just add them in and keep this going. We do not have to subtract anything. We don't have to sacrifice this. It does feel like
it will be subtracted, but that's okay.
Well, we gonna subtract Hook. I have plans.
He's not hurting nobody right now. He's not doing nothing.
Not right now. He's just taking up TV time, but we will need that back when Big Swervo and Ospreay come back.
We will need those 10 minutes. Absolutely. Thank you. Thank you. We gonna need them 10 minutes to try to understand what Ospreay's saying. Guys, wait, before we move on. I have a question for British people. I doubt any British people watch this show. First of all, we have like 4 viewers in the first place. But if any of you are British,
That's not true.
Is it so? I like to downplay it so that people can't. Anyway, if you humble yourself, nobody else can humble you.
I do believe that.
A level of self-awareness, and then people are like, like, I made the joke first. Okay, fine, fuck you. Anyway, if you're British, is it okay to laugh about the Queen's passing? Right. I've consulted with the Irish, who of course have given me their opinion. I've consulted with the Scottish, who of course have given me their opinion. British people, I'm dead ass. I know I haven't always necessarily been the best ally to the British community. I would say I'm working on it, but it's like not something that like I'm actively doing. It's like
ally to the British community.
Hey, shout out to the beans and toast. What else y'all got over there? I actually loved my time in England. I can't even front, but
they did me too good. That's why I get real quiet when you start.
I love London. I can't lie to you, babes. I really, really do.
See, it went viral. That Instagram live between Osprey and Gabe Kidd for 2 years.
That's what I'm talking about. So I quoted, first of all, funniest thing to ever happen. It was hilarious the first time when it was happening because I was like, I'm understanding every third word.
I remember when it was like live and it's just like Osprey is spinning around the chair. I'm in my brand new kitchen, bro.
Kitchen renovation. Brand new kitchen, mate. And I've got my back on the thing. I've got my back on the counter. And you tapped out to Luke fucking Jacobs, mate. You did.
And Leah, you can't do it by yourself, bro.
Each other the whole time. And it's all Osprey. Listen, bro. Listen. Shut up. Listen, bro. I'm trying to talk to you. Listen, bro. Shut up.
I miss him. Like, bro, y'all give him back. Give Billy back. I miss him so much.
If he can't give us nothing else, get live on Instagram, please.
Please. And I think that's what I did really appreciate about Osprey is that, like, even while he was working New Japan, even when he was working AEW, what I appreciate about him is that even as he was really the best wrestler in the world, one of the most popular wrestlers in the world, he was still getting in the field and selling all of his indie feuds. Absolutely. Like, and I see indie wrestlers.
Hey, you ain't got to tell me twice.
I see indie wrestlers who are way less popular than him refusing to do that for themselves. Like, if you don't advocate for yourself, like, who's going to? You know, like, he's always, he just goes the extra. Like, Will Ospreay, you can say a lot about him. He talks way too much, but he is a real freak.
I don't think he's enough. I think that they
now. I would say this version of Will Ospreay probably doesn't talk enough. I will say. Him 5 years ago, God bless it.
You know what? But that's the thing, right? Like, me being me, no, I think you should just say every thought on your mind. But I say that to everyone. I'm like, matter of fact, just say it. Everything.
And I miss him so much. I hope he's doing well.
Really go come back, or at least can you please do like a Q&A?
And come on Black Girl Wrestling.
What were we talking about? The Hurt Syndicate?
Yes, we're talking about
John Osprey. Sorry.
So the Opps retained, and then after Samoa Joe picked up the microphone talking crazy. I will say wrestlers say like mean things sometimes, and like especially heels, and I just shrug it off and be like, oh, they're playing a heel, or I'll just be like, oh, it's annoying. My feelings were actually hurt. When Samoa Joe is mean, it kind of stings a little bit. It's like,
yeah, well, you mean it.
Had me feeling like a big bitch in San Antonio. Now, why we got to do that? He told what Money said. What did Money say, Precious? He told me to shut my fat ass up. And what you did? I shut my fat ass up.
Yeah, that was very funny. Shout out Charles Barkley. Maybe I don't know if he's done anything cancelable. If he has, I take that back. You never know with rich men. Um, Let me say this though, right? The Opps are actually too cool for me to boo. I understand they keep hog tying Hangman, and y'all know Hangman will always be my number one client. Always. I'm not booing Shibata. It's
No.
not happening.
He said,
Like,
this nigga Joe, he said, y'all want to know why I came after Hangman? Because I exist.
and I said that's reason enough. He had
And I'm
me,
fucking booing.
and I would
The
honestly
boot
that's
is
all I was hoping he would say. That's all you have to say.
he
Is
said,
nigga, I'm Samoa Joe. Who gonna check me? Yep.
he said, because as long as I exist
Who not, nigga?
and another man is holding that belt, we gonna always have a problem.
And that's all you need.
Big brother general.
But you know what? I wish maybe he would have used that line in the build up to the first match. Because
But I think that would have gave it away. It would have gave it away that like he was turning heel. Because I will
I
say,
don't think so. Because I mean, you're already playing like the almost heel going into this feud because we had to build it so quickly. So maybe not that exact bar, but I would have liked a more clear declaration. Like it's actually it's actually not personal. I just like remembered who I was, and so now we got a problem because I want what you got.
I don't think anybody thought that he was gonna actually turn though until he did. Because I just thought we was all good when they beat him in ass like that. I said,
And nobody's gonna help her. Wow, some world we live in.
I said, damn, here we go again. I said, and I think it's also because they just released this documentary. I've watched it. It made me cry.
I haven't seen it yet. I'm too emotionally
Daniel,
stable.
you have to watch it. No, you have to watch it.
But I can't. I've had a really shit week. I can't cry more.
It actually makes it'll make you feel better about yourself. I'm not gonna lie.
Well, I already feel good about myself. Not me.
Anyway, he's white. So in this documentary, you see like how he's finally got to a point to where he can trust people and accept help and really embracing it. And then he thinks that he's found like-minded individuals and they just whoop his ass. What a man.
I think maybe you should just give up on the idea of friendship. Maybe it's not.
No. It's coming. It's unfortunately Hangman is going to. His friendships are going to come from the deepest, darkest pits of hell, and it's going to be unfortunate.
I think trauma bonds.
It's trauma bonds. Yeah, I was about to say. Y'all want to know why him and Swerve were able to persist as long as they did? It's because that's how they make friendship. I said, I trust people. You're the only bitch in this house I respect. You're the only person I can trust.
The only freak in here with a whole lot of fake freaks.
The way that they talk to each other, just like, because guess what? Neither of them know how to make friends for real. Yeah.
You know what? They're honestly, yes, they're just pulling on each other's pigtails.
I think it would be really cool if, because I didn't know what's the timeline for not just Swerve getting back, but Jay White getting back, because it sounds like he's getting back. Like if they did the trios match of like Hangman having a team with his extra foes to take off fight the Opps, but then he's still getting his ass afterwards.
You're not
I mean, I think there's better options than Jay White. I'm just saying
that right now. Everything's going so well. And here y'all niggas go. What if we added Jay White? What if we did
it? They said, yeah. People tried to really argue with me. They said, yeah, we need it come with Switchblade. They wanted that to end WrestleDream. Are you crazy? Free for free. They'll be great friends with Swerve come back. I agree. I think at this point too of just how much nobody has any friends anymore. Jay White is a threat.
Except Nightingale.
Hmm?
She Willow Nightingale's the only person with friends. She's got lots of friends.
Hangman is gonna have to join the conglomeration.
At this point, yes. Or
If
you
he
gonna have
wants
to do, or you
friends,
gonna have to stick with Jet Speed. I don't know what to tell you.
or you just gonna have to become Bandido and Brody King's third.
Yeah, which I'm hearing that you're
I'm actually, I think that would be,
that
I
would
would
work for me,
see it.
brother. Hop in that. You go ahead, hop back in those trios division. Honestly, and I said this when it happened, but I was like, anytime that Hangman pairs with anybody, I'm like, you know what? Yeah, they should win the trios belts. Yeah, they should win the tag belts. Matter of fact, yeah. So hey, I'm putting you in an open relationship. Just in terms of these belts, okay? Whatever works, whatever makes you happy.
Because I just realized too, once Hangman loses the world championship, I have a lot of plans for him. No. I have a lot of plans for him because I intend to make him AEW's next Grand Slam champion. And we have a lot of ground to cover. We got to get that TNT belt on you. We got to get that unified belt on you. We got to get those trios titles on you. And I think we got to win them tag belts one more again. There's a lot of stories to tell. It was important that we did let y'all know we are the first homegrown two-time champion. World champion. Just wanted to get that out of the way. We did it before MJF. We did it before Swerve. We did it for all them people. So just want to make that clear to you.
This nigga said we. You not on the team? You are not on the team.
Who said that? It's some ways we when we doing well. Let me tell you something.
Exactly.
Let me tell you something. When All Elite Wrestling decided to let Hangman Adam Page win that Owen Hart tournament, that was essentially an invitation to me and my homegirls.
An open tryout.
Officially, we are the team.
Yes.
And so, if you didn't want us to talk like this, you shouldn't have the Cowboy win the Owen. The way that we put in there.
As a result, Hangman, I want you to know you'll never be without any friends because you're wearing my friendship bracelet. So if you need me to tag in, I am willing. I am not willing to fight Samoa Joe. That seems kind of hard.
But I will get a.
Yeah, you got any like lower level people?
No. I can't fight Samoa Joe, but I will bring a redacted.
Okay, yeah. Sure. Yeah, and I'll bite his ankles and get him on the ground.
We will be bringing a redacted.
That's how people want a WrestleDream to end.
We gotta get a gun full of horse tranquilizers and put you down. I'm putting you down. Yeah. I will say that's also it was a cool thing about the documentary, and Jayla and Chloe know this. Like, I think they did a really good job of capturing the emotions around like that weekend, like not just from him, but like from other people. Like the way that they was interviewing fans, like you would have people pulled up like it was their job. Yeah, we're here to handle business this weekend.
Are you? Are you?
We here to take care of business this weekend. We've always believed in them.
We the people.
You know what it is.
I wish they would have put a microphone in my face about. Well, a lot of people did, but not AEW. I wish they would have put a microphone in my face. And asked me about Hangman that weekend, or honestly, any of the four of us, because it would have been y'all would have heard some generational clips that I can promise.
It genuinely felt like
we talk about All In Weekend so much. We talk about All In Weekend like it's our firstborn child.
It was.
Actually, that kind of reminds me, guys. We will move on. But I keep getting a bunch of I keep getting tagged and stuff and DM'd and stuff, and people are always asking me like about Lyric, and it's really funny to me because are me and Lyric friends? Yeah. Do me and Lyric co-host Dynamite Diaries? Listen, let me talk. Do me and Lyric co-host the Dynamite Diaries every week? Yes. I think that now somehow we've created this We've only met in person like 3 times.
Maybe twice.
Maybe twice.
It was twice. Yeah, it was twice.
Yeah, literally twice. But it's just so funny to me because everyone like talks like we have this symbiotic relationship, and we low key do.
We do.
I'm a leech. um,
It's not true.
it's a very unequal distribution, but it's just funny because people always like associate Black Girl Wrestling with Lyric, and I'm like, yeah, these are all great things. You definitely should. It's just funny because I've met her twice.
But you know what though? How do I say this?
Well, we are friends. We're friends. Don't get that.
You know, this is, and it makes me feel really crazy sometimes because it's not just you. It's like, it's interesting because like Charlie's birthday was earlier this week, but like these wrestling connections that you make, especially like these trips, like guys, I want y'all to know it's like going to Barbie Land. And it's hard to explain, especially like if you are a single 20 something girl, like who has a very niche interest and you run into other people who also fit that bill. These trips are genuinely like Barbie Land. And so like I don't want to say what's a very strong word of like we all like latch on each other so strongly, just like hi, we live in different parts of the world. Do you
literally had never met Jalen and Chloe before, and it was just immediate. So what y'all finna do?
do you want to be like my best friend forever now?
That's
like
what
it's so weird because like I get more nervous around like women I want to be friends with than I do about around like potential romantic partners, because it's just like I will go on a
too
trip.
because this like matters. Like
I will go on a trip and like I'll hang out with somebody, and then like when I get home, I'll be like, "Am I allowed to like text them after this? Like, are we
was I
friends?"
cool? Did they think was I too like was that a lot? Did I come on
Like,
strong as a friend? And
and
then
we're like,
I'd be
finally
going on
post
dates with men.
pictures?
Yeah, and I'd be going on dates with men, and I'd be leaving, and I'm like, I don't care whether he liked me. That means that's none of my business. I don't give a fuck. I know I was fun. I know I was lit. I know I'm cool as fuck. I know I'm pretty. I ain't got shit to prove to this nigga. And then as soon as I like meet other girls that I like want to be friends with, I'm like, oh my god, like I hope I was like temperate, and like I know sometimes I can talk a lot and I can be a little bit loud. So like let's, you know, do you think that was the friendship bracelet too much? Like, is she gonna? Oh my god, she gave me one back. Like,
No, like going to and knowing that like I literally called my friend, like my best friend from home. I said, "Oh my gosh, like these people have like friendship bracelets made for me and stuff like that." I said, "I don't want to go home.
you're thinking of me.
Everybody's so nice to me."
Oh wait. I want to address a comment though, right? I saw someone that said that they were happy for us, but that they get nervy because wrestling fans can be weird. Here's the thing, right? And part of my mission of Black Girl Wrestling is why I'm very and so explicit about the things that I believe in the kind of environment that we're trying to create. Because I truly, unless you're a creepy man, which I will tell you that you're a creepy man, like we are friends. Like you can message girls, gays, non-binary pals. Please do message me if you think you find something interesting. Just be like, Dani, what is up? Like we are friends.
No,
So
yeah,
don't be nervy. At least I can't say with other people, but like I can say with me, like I literally just like I assume that everyone that's in or around Black Girl Wrestling is my friend, unless you're a man. That's a different set of circumstances. What do you want to say? But like, don't I promise I'm warm. I'm welcoming. I'm friendly. It's a front, guys. I promise I do have a heart. Tony Stark, proof that Tony Stark has a heart. That's how it feels.
Dani was so like genuinely we only do this because like Dani reached out to me because I used to like really I had a hard time finding community. I've been a wrestling fan. I'm celebrating 19 years this year. I only really started talking to other people about wrestling at all outside of myself maybe 3 years ago. Which is crazy to think about of just, and so it's been, and especially like other women, I was always ostracized growing up of just like, oh, hear Lyric talk about that wrestling shit. So like it was community is something that I really lacked, and I'm really grateful that like I have it and people were really open to me and welcoming to me, and like I try to pay that forward when I can because I am naturally I just
But that's the thing, right? I feel like honestly, like part of being a wrestling fan and like being one that talks about it a lot on the internet, like we're all some degree of lame. like, there's some degree to, and I'm willing to admit it, which is why I feel like you and I are both able to pull off like more of like, oh, like cool girl. One, because we're black, but two, because we're like, okay, we address our level of lame. I feel like there's a lot of people in
we
wrestling
embrace fandom. We embrace the fandom.
yes, and
We
also
embrace.
because we have histories in other fandoms. But anyway, there's a lot of grown men who aren't willing to admit what they're doing or the extent of what they're doing or the emotional grip that it has on them. We're not those people. And I think that that makes it more enjoyable and it makes it more fun and it makes it more girly and it makes it more. There's gonna be friendship bracelets.
I always
And it's gonna be fun and there's gonna be photo cards and glitter and pink and I want death matches. I want blood. I want blood. I want blood. I want blood. I want everyone to bleed. I want the Red Cross out in front just in case. Blood, blood, bleed, bleed, bleed.
That
Dirty,
was something I struggled
disgusting
with a
wrestling.
lot too. Of just I struggled very early with like balancing my femininity with like loving rest, especially once I figured out like I wasn't really into WWE anymore, and I loved a more hardcore, hard hitting, gory style. And like I remember, like even when I first started hanging out like with Charlie and stuff, and like I see them, I said, "Bro, y'all get dressed for like these pay per views. Like, why not? Everybody else looks bad. Why would I look? What wouldn't I look good?" And I thought about it. I said, "Huh, these men really do come in here looking crazy, and I can come in here genuinely dressed like a fairy princess."
And
And
who gonna check me?
And you know what? From then on, like I just started just putting in effort, like of just not to like look like anybody else, but just like, wrestle. I
I
love seeing women make wrestling shows a fashion show.
exactly. That's
It's so
why
cool.
I literally I do it at indie shows. I'm like, no, I'm gonna wear a skirt and a full beat to this indie show because I'm going to be as feminine as I want to be, take up as much space as I want to take up. And and who gonna check me because my $20, well, I don't really pay to get, but my ticket is worth just as much as your ticket, and I want you to look, not necessarily for you to look over here, but I want you to know that anybody can do whatever they want in this space. We don't all have to look like you. We don't all have to dress like you. We don't all have to smell like you. Okay.
We clearly don't smell like you.
What you're smelling is Prada Paradox. What I'm smelling came out of Chernobyl.
I literally, it's so funny because like people will have, it's actually terrible.
Please.
People will have like serious events and stuff, and I'll just be like, oh, I'll just throw something on. Oh, I have a wrestling trip coming up. I will go get my nails done, a full acrylic set,
Yup. Yup.
retwist.
I like
I
to
will
be.
buy no less than 2 new outfits.
You treat it like a concert.
Yes, I do. I do.
Yeah, me too.
Especially too, just like now that I haven't been able to travel as much as I have in the past, but when I do travel, I try to do like those big weekends where I go to like multiple shows, like, in 1 week. And so, yeah, if I got 5 shows in 1 week to go to, I got to have a different fit for each of them. You got to
Like
get
what the hell I look like.
the people need a queen.
Exactly. Everyone's looking to be ruled. And who am I to turn down the pleasant folk? Hello?
And also too, like when you're a woman and also specifically being black, you stick out like a
You're
sore thumb.
black?
Everybody is going to talk to you. Everybody is
Absolutely.
going to, whether they know you or not. If the people who do know you, they're going to talk to you because they're like, "Oh my gosh, like you're the girl from Twitter." The people that don't know you, they're
They're
going to be
gonna
like,
look at you and they're gonna say, "Witch!"
"You here?" I'll never forget. There was a girl I met in New York. I think she talks to like one of the wrestlers or something, but she showed up like right before his match, and she was like, I'm talking about, she wore a fur coat, dress
Period.
tight. I could tell she's not a wrestling fan at all. She had her hair done. There was others, but she was just here to be sportive. And so she sat by me and she just like, oh, I don't know anything about it. She's like, oh, so you come to these like often? Are you here for somebody? I said, yeah. Like I said, I actually cover it. Whoa,
Wow.
wow.
Kind of like that guy in Texas.
She
You
said
heard
that's
about
so,
it?
she said that's so interesting. Who knew?
And that's my TLDR. I want to be that. Like, y'all really do this? Like, yes, we do.
See,
Join.
that's how much I think also too of just like I love being around people who romanticize this shit as much as I do. Like of just when we in that trip, it genuinely felt like Barbie Land. It's Barbie Land. It really is. Like
And we were in Texas. Imagine if we were somewhere else.
somewhere liberal.
If we were, imagine if we were in. Well, we were in Arlington. That's liberal-ish, but imagine if we were in somewhere blue, Your Honor. Anyway, what happened next? Where were we even at?
Um, we went past the main event. Uh, we had the Mercedes. Wait, no, that wasn't it yet. Chris Statlander had a promo backstage, essentially saying that like she accepts Mercedes challenge. Let me tell you something. Chris Stat was put into a crazy position, I would say, when she beat Tony. And I didn't know how this was gonna go, but she took the ball and ran. Um, like she has taken the ball and ran. Like promos is something that she has historically been very weak on. She has sounded more confident and more strong when she speaks over the last few weeks than probably I've ever heard her. Um, yeah.
I have to disagree a little bit. I think that she. Well, I think that the problem is, right, like now you've got, and I'm kind of combining this all together to now talk about, Mercedes coming out, which first of all, the fit man, nasty. Nasty. That with tea. We will be Vinny will be talking about this look for generations. We're all her belts, we're all her shirtless boys that come out and then don't listen because like men can't fucking listen all the time. But I think that it will be interesting, I guess, because Stat is not the world's best promo, neither is Mercedes. I would say that Mercedes has definitely, she, in the past couple weeks especially, she has had an added level of confidence for sure, both in the ring and on the. I think I haven't necessarily felt that way about Stat on the mic. I don't think that she's shown me anything on the mic that she hasn't necessarily already shown me. When we talked about during the Tony feud, right? Like Tony is already doing such generational work. All the other person really has to do to sell the match is be there. So it wasn't. I don't think it was a huge testament to her mic skills the past couple weeks. I think you're gonna struggle. I don't know. I think the next few weeks of TV are gonna be a little bit hard to watch with Mercedes and Stat both engaged in this because, and I think that to me it starts with this angle tonight, right? Like I understand what you're doing with the cake thing and with the puppet and you're making fun of Mercedes, she's got 12 belts. I think we're at the point now Mercedes needs something in AEW to sink her teeth into deeply. And Stat is having her first title defense that's not a rematch. So you have two women who both really kind of need something deeper right now. And to kickstart that off with an angle with a puppet and a cake and two people that aren't great at promos, I don't love that at all. I don't think that sets them up for success in the best way possible. The match will absolutely still bang, but I don't like this angle. I think we should have definitely taken a more serious approach with all of it. I understand the reservations of not really wanting to do that because you've got other things going on and you've still got all the stuff going on in the tag division too. I
What
wouldn't
is
have done it. I don't think it's a good idea.
I mean, yeah, no, I wasn't talking about the cake angle. I was talking about
Oh
that
yeah,
back.
I just put it all together.
Yeah, the backstage promo that Stat did, I think was really good. Like, I understand what Mercedes and the cake. Here's the thing. This is my question, and I don't want to offend anybody because I know how y'all get. Why is Harley Cameron attached to the three most three of the biggest stars in the division right now at the same time.
It doesn't
Harley Cameron is touching Stat, Mercedes, and Willow simultaneously right now. What do we do to earn that?
It's a mark. Well, it's also like, to me, honestly, it's a mark of bad writing, because on the same thing that they are doing with Willow in the men's division. It's just when you don't necessarily know how to connect all these links, you just use one person and have them, as a puzzle piece that connects everything, even if it doesn't make sense.
I think, but
This doesn't make sense.
Willow and Harley Cameron are two different people in that, like, in the sense of Willow can make everything work because she is the in-ring performer too, who is able to pull it all together. Harley's not that person, and the thing is, I think AEW is probably aware that for Harley's in-ring level, she won't be able to be promoted to do anything to actually be a legitimate threat to any of these champions, but they still really like her, so they want her in the vicinity.
Yeah.
And but right now, I feel like so much serious stuff is going on. You got Blood and Guts. You have this huge third match for Mercedes and Chris. You have the tag title tournament of just like Harley can just she it's too much to have her be everywhere right now. Like it's too
And
much.
I would argue she doesn't necessarily need to be involved in any of these. So being involved in all three is OD.
Like the only thing that she needs to be in is the tag tournament because
But that, even that,
I'm just saying she's already in it at this point. Like
yeah,
she's
I
just
know. I'm just saying, like, period. From
I
when we were
agree.
drawing this out, So no, I definitely agree with you there.
Yeah. But like I said, I think Chris and Mercedes, but I think they're going to be interesting because they have two different things going on right now. Like Chris is very clearly probably going to be in Blood and Guts. Mercedes is pretty obviously in the tag title tournament. So what I do think is that their feud over the next couple weeks will hopefully be told more in the ring rather than on the mic, which is probably best for both of them. I didn't hate the cake thing. I think I'm just more so of we can do better. We can do more than this. This is the biggest wrestler in the world. Stat is a superstar right now. I think who has been fantastic.
Get serious in the Rise Room.
We don't need Harley Cameron. I'm sorry. Like I don't mean, especially after Stat has already told Harley she needs to focus on her championship and she's not going to be her partner for the tag tournament right now, right? So
like,
if
what's up in here?
if tonight is about the tag titles, why and also why is Willow not there if that's her partner that she just wrestled with earlier in the night? You see, it's
why is there no confrontation there between Stat and Willow? Exactly. There's no, like,
and maybe they're saving it because we're getting into
and maybe they are, but it's like, no.
you
And
know
that's honestly, it's no tea, no shade to Harley Cameron, because I like her. It's just like, what are we doing? And I think it also creates, like I said, if you're trying to build this huge match for Mercedes and Stat, as you should, like, it doesn't it I'm gonna say something controversial now. The same way that I was talking about Tony and Mercedes when it happened, which was, this match was incredible, but it was they were playing too much. I don't want the same thing to happen with
I agree.
Stat and Mercedes.
Especially
which I don't think it will in the ring. I don't think it will.
Because they already
build up. Don't play too much.
They had two exceptional first two matches, and so it's really important they're going to have to show something different in this match, and different in a good way. I think, yeah, it's just too much going on right now, and I think part of it is because like AEW essentially really stalled the women's division for most of this year outside of Tony and Mercedes, and like now they're like, oh, we care about everybody else now.
Oh,
And
yep,
so
Athena and Mercedes, you're tagging together.
there's so much happening right now so fast, and it feels like everything is being speed ran. Um, and so I hope that they keep the wires crossed. But at the end of the day, the stars, the real stars, are still the real stars.
And they always will be.
Willow and Stat is certain stuff that's beneath them now. Like I genuinely do believe that. Like I believe like there are certain stuff. I do believe Harley's beneath them. Sorry.
I don't necessarily think that. This I think that she's beneath this feud. I'm not against, like, because when Harley was involved in Will Stat join the Death Riders or whatever, like, that was fine.
Yeah.
But like, when we're getting serious, we don't need Harley Cameron around.
Because the thing is,
We
like,
need to get serious.
how much can it mean? Like, if Harley doesn't mean enough to either Chris or Mercedes to be their partner for the tournament, why
Why
would
is
just
she
use
her?
her? Yeah, you know.
Agreed.
But I will say though, even though I feel like we got a convoluted way to get here, Mercedes and Athena.
Big Mama, Big Mama.
Oh, Big Mama.
Guys, I'm gonna hold your hands when I say this, and I'm gonna look you dead in the fucking face. I know. Everybody named Mama was like, the winners of this tag tournament should be AEW Day Ones. It should be either Tony and Mina, or folks were throwing around that it should be Tay J, whatever. I understand. And before I saw the brackets, I said, yeah, Tony and Mina should win this. Athena and Mercedes, we are turning into Barack Obama. We are politicking this back. Whatever the fuck we gotta do. Nobody's putting their shoulders to the mat. Not y'all two. No ma'am. No ma'am. Not at all. Not at all. Mercedes and Athena, you are taking it. You are taking it. You are absolutely taking it. And you know what? And then you're gonna win the tag titles, and then guess what? You're gonna have a falling out. And guess what? We're gonna have to start putting some belts on the line. And guess what? You're gonna have to main event a couple pay-per-views. I have seen visions, folks. I've seen visions like I'm that so Raven.
I don't know if like I genuinely don't know if Mercedes and Athena might make it out of the first round.
I'm not saying whether or not I think they can. I'm saying that they should.
Oh yeah. It's interesting, especially with them being in the first round with Willow and Harley. I think obviously something's gonna happen. As long as we get the world's end and Big CEO is putting her shoulders to the mat for Willow, and handing over that TBS title to the babe with the power bomb, we got
must commence the marriage. You must.
I do, and that's why I really do. I really need AEW to get the story right, because when Mercedes first got to AEW, I'm gonna be honest, the first couple months was rocky, but those bright spots, those matches that really kicked her into gear was Willow, and then it was Stat. I think Stat need her lick back, then we giving Willow her lick back, and then we gonna do the downfall. We gonna tear the house down, and then we gonna build it up as the AEW Women's World Champion. And
so we got some work to do, because we gotta handle business with Stat. You got a belt to drop to Willow, and we simply must get a half-hour classic with Athena. We simply must.
Many of on pay-per-view.
On pay-per-view, main event. Someone asked quickly before we move on, do you think Billy Starks will get involved in sabotage the Athena and Mercedes? I think she might. That might be a way that you believe would get them out of,
I think that might be the only way. If Athena is meant to actually finally drop this title to Billy, I think that they need to start making those moves quickly.
Never drop the belt.
She got to drop it in first battle.
Never dropping that belt. Nope. Nope. You can super glue that shit around her waist. We never dropping that belt. Never ever.
I just need her to drop that belt so we can get another one. That's all. We just need to pick up another belt. That's all I ask.
¿Por qué no los dos? See, you're not thinking big enough. I'm thinking big.
That's my fault, Big Sister General.
I'm going one black girl belt collected to another. Thank you.
I would like to see it actually. Actually, I would like Willow Nightingale to really be the belt connect.
Hey, we can go back to back to back. Who gonna check me?
Also, so there was the 4-way women's match, the tag match, which I thought was good. Also, and Jamie Hayter. That finisher y'all got is lethal.
Nasty.
Head but a bitch, then haterade.
I saw that. I said, "Oh my goodness."
I said, "Oh my god!" I thought this was a classy party. Thought this was a classy party. Next we saw Kyle O'Reilly versus John Moxley. Listen,
Hey, go ahead.
John Moxley is such a great wrestler.
What about
And
the children?
at this point, John Moxley, I want you to know your days are numbered. You know that picture that's been going around, Dani with the clock. That's how they do you.
They
That's
gonna
how
hog tie you, man.
I saw it from the way I said only Marina came out. I said, yeah, they like to kill you. I said she don't even slap him the same no more. She don't even it's weak.
He hit that death matter. Kyle O'Reilly said not enough. I said, oh, they gonna kill you, John. They gonna kill you.
He said, Lord, I know I can't get out of submission. He just started punching the referee. I said,
which you know what? You know what? I actually loved that move because I think that it, I think it's one in character, two, it's not something you see all the time like that deliberately, like you see, oh, let me distract the ref. He said, no, if I clock this nigga, who go, then I can't tap out. If I punch the ref, then I never technically lose, right? Yeah, they're gonna hog tie the hell out of you. Kyle O'Reilly, I'm legally obligated to say this every time I see you on screen.
I also really like the Conglomeration's Neutron. It's so cute.
It's very cute. I don't want the music. It's very cute.
I think it's bootleg.
Isn't all of it?
I will say, then they did the trios match afterwards, and when after the match, Mox coming out of there and not actually getting in the ring and telling, yeah, do this. I said, they gonna kill you. Do you know that?
And this is the most interested I've been in the Death Riders, probably since I won the belt. Maybe, yeah, like ever. And it's just, again, it just makes me more and more angry when I think about the amount of time that I straight up hated these niggas just because we were absolutely stagnant in the storytelling. Because I see where we're going and it's fun and I want to go on this journey with you. Why did you waste my damn time?
We didn't need the world title to do this.
We didn't need the title to do this. And that's what is being evidenced by. We're doing all of this now, the storytelling, without the world title. Like, we could
literally, Mox gets the exact same amount of TV time as he did as world champion, if not more.
Ain't shit changed.
Nothing.
Just take lighter.
What else was hard?
Pac, you will be the new leader. It won't be Claudio. I won't allow it.
We had Kyle Fletcher versus Mark Briscoe. I mean, Kyle Fletcher talking and Mark Briscoe answering again. Sure, at this point, whatever.
We need to move on, and I understand that you're likely waiting for a Takeshita face turn to like actually give them something to get into. Kyle Fletcher is too talented for us to be. This hasn't been his TNT title reign, and I'm like a little bit frustrated by it because he had such a rapid ascent, because he was improving so rapidly and continues to. That you put the TNT belt on him, okay. The first major thing you have him do is the Risco feud, okay. Then you have him feud with Hangman for the world title. He loses that, and then we're back to the Briscoe thing. And it's like, okay, so when is it your, none of this has felt like his title reign. It hasn't felt like it's belonged to him. It feels like we're waiting for something. I understand that probably is the likelihood. Like we are waiting for something, but he's too
That's a good
confident.
question.
I don't want to plateau. Like
Somebody said,
for that.
who would you like to see Kyle feud with next against?
Do you want to go first?
This is the problem. So like my thing is I wanted him to like wrestle somebody like the other guys from the Opps, right? Like I think Shibata or Opps, but now that they're heels now too, that's evil. We have a babyface problem.
We do.
Yeah.
Especially with so many folks out. You have a babyface problem. And not everybody can wrestle Bandido.
Everybody who's here isn't ready. Like, if Eddie Kingston was in a better in-ring shape right now, I think.
And of course, he would be a great pick. He still might be a great pick just in terms of like building a feud.
Absolutely.
But if you want, I think Kyle Fletcher, like I said, I think Kyle Fletcher needs another mortal enemy. That's what he's in need of right now because we keep going back to the same ones. I pulled a wild card. I want it to be AR Fox. I understand that doesn't necessarily fit into anything that we've been doing so far. But I would also argue, right, the TNT title is supposed to be, I mean, it's your mid-card title. AR Fox has won lots and lots of mid-card matches. You reintroduce him to AEW, you have him start picking up some wins. There's no reason why it can't be him. That, it's one of those things like, and whether or not that's now or like down the line, I think that is somewhere. And also, y'all, I'm completely biased. Yes, I was always going to suggest a black person.
I think some of these are really good. I think it's about time to start I think it's about time for Kevin Knight to start working some of like the higher tier guys of his age range. Like,
agreed.
Get him in the ring versus Takeshita. Get him in the ring versus Kyle. Like, honestly, I think that Kevin Knight could be a good TV defense for Takeshita because he is still technically a New Japan talent. I think Kyle could be a good.
Yeah, I was gonna say, I think Kevin Knight versus Kyle Fletcher would be.
Austin is good too.
Yeah, I think Kyle Fletcher versus Kevin Knight would be amazing. But I also like the great thing about Jet Speed is like if you're not planning on having them win in the tag division anytime soon, we can always go back to that. They've already proven they have incredible tag team chemistry. Both Kevin Knight and Speedball are great choices of folks that you can slot in anywhere.
Yes.
So, Kevin Knight is obviously somebody that stands out a little bit more because he's kind of more of the promos. He's, but
Speedball but versus Kyle would be crazy.
And that's why I was like, but don't shut the door on Speedball because
I'm just think that they need to like for the TNT title specifically. I do think it's important to have a lot more youth versus youth feuds. And so that's why I suggested Kevin Knight. But I agree. I think we really got to start getting some more of these baby faces to the front. But yeah, we should. Also, so the full women's title tournament bracket is released. We have Queen Aminata and Jamie Hayter versus the Sisters of Sin, Sky Blue and Julia Hart. We have Willow Nightingale and Harley Cameron versus Mercedes Moné and Athena. We have Penelope Ford and Megan Bain versus Ty J, Anna J, and Ty Mello. And we have Alex Windsor.
Welcome back.
And Riho. Also, welcome back. Versus Tony Storm and me. I would like to say, never chat my FC again. As somebody laid down when y'all was talking crazy. This was Big Mom. Big Mom.
like y'all, hey, what Riho is somebody y'all wipe your feet when you step in her house. This is her shit, okay? Everybody got their big mouths. Everybody sitting up here talking about, oh, I'm gonna do this and I'm gonna do that. And I'm the owner of this house. Yeah, I'm Dima home pussy. I'm really excited to have her back, of course. I will be interested to see how her and Alex wrestle together. Um, but hey, I'm all
Alex
for
is
it.
really strong. I can easily see her using Riho as a battering ram. So I think
Yeah,
that's
for sure. I think that's the easiest thing. I start thinking about finishers. But anyway,
Tony and Mina. I think are obviously going to be a favorite in this tournament, and I'll be honest. When it comes to like the long term health of the titles, because I feel like this is just the first step. Like as we've seen for a
of course,
wrestling company, the long term is making sure that these tag titles are always a priority. Tony is the safest bet. Like I know for a fact, if AEW puts these titles on Tony Storm with the women's tag title,
they will be on TV.
I mean they gonna live on
They're
TV.
gonna be on TV, Your Honor.
They gonna be featured. They're gonna be active, and so you know, yeah. And that's what the thing about Mercedes and Athena, knowing how their schedule is, like it would be great for them to win, but like I don't know if it, I don't know if
My clients will be winning that tag tournament. Thank you.
listen, you will never see me on video before. You'll
No,
never see
I'm clarifying for the town folk.
but I'm just so proud, like genuinely proud of this division. I look back at the original Deadly Draw tournament that they had in 2020. Bro,
In
yeah, you
disgust.
can read who was in it. Penelope Figueroa, the Bunny, and Brandy Rhodes, Big and Little Swole, Rach and Leva Bates, Nyla Rose and Arian Andrew,
Guys,
Tajay, Ivelisse and Diamante,
guys,
and Rachel Ellering.
who are these people? um, as someone who started watching AEW, like I would say, like tail end the pandemic, AEW consistent.
So you're a black belt?
Well, I'm a black bitch.
Black
No, I
bitch.
reference that all the time, though. I think that's the funniest, and that's only funny to a demographic like us. Everyone else laughing at it, I'm like, that's not for you. That
No,
is so fucking funny to me. Why would she say that? My sisters and I walk around the house and we say it all the time.
oh, so you're a black belt? Well, I'm a black bitch.
And I'm sure she thought that ate down. And remember, that was before Cody Rhodes invented racism or solved it. Sorry.
Solved it. Solved
Well,
it.
many could argue. Anyway.
Last but certainly not least, we ended
Oh
this
my
show.
god. Fuck.
We ended this show with Bandido versus Okada. Also, don't ever tweet Kazuchika Okada again. I don't want y'all speaking about him no more. Don't speak
Ever. Because you don't know what the fuck you talking about.
Let me tell
You don't know what the fuck you talking about.
unified champ. Ever since Double or Nothing. Thank you, Speedball. Okada has been doing
No, literally.
Okada's been doing some of his best work in years. This is some of his best work in years. His last years in New Japan, and I'm gonna stand on that because he didn't give a fuck.
He did not care. Look, we've said it a million times over about Kazuchika Okada. First of all, funniest wrestler in the world. Second of all,
Second is wrestler in the world. The first is Andrade. Thank you. Continue.
that's a whole but yes. Cash Money Kazu, like, he is so evidently, like, he's one of us because he has good days and bad days at work too. He has days where he will give you his absolute all with the coworkers that he does like. And he has days in which, he's just there, he cashing his check and he moving on. Again, thank you, Speedball, for awakening Cash Money Kazu for the first time in a long time. Thank you, Takeshita, for putting this nigga on his P's and Q's. And thank you, Bandido, for being you. And you know what? Like I said, that tag match, first of all, they did it for me. That was for me and
That
me
was
alone.
beautiful.
I don't give a fuck. I saw niggas talking crazy about that tag match, and I had to delete the app. I was like, this is rage bait, and it's working because I cannot engage. I do not engage. Um, Bandito, you are maybe my easiest client in the world. I am building that wrestler of the year case for you, buddy, and we are going to win, babes. We are going to win.
You know this nigga's wrestling Mascara Dorada again this week.
I know.
I said, "Oh my god, the points that you putting up on the board right now is like, it's so nasty. Like, that's why it's just like, don't get me wrong. I'm not saying that drawing power is the best, or attendance numbers and stuff, right? But like when we talking about wrestling, like actual wrestling, don't tweet, bro. Just don't at me about
You don't know.
freaking the Fed, bro. Like
Because
AEW has no less than like 5 of most of the wrestler of the year conversation on both the men and women's side right now. Like between Bandito, Takeshita,
yes,
Hangman, and John Moxley alone.
yes.
Like, come on, dog.
Be so for
And that's
real.
and that's just your quantity, guys. They still got somebody in their pocket named Kenny Omega.
Have you heard of them?
Who's only wrestled like less than 10 matches this year, but unfortunately for you, they're all classics.
Unfortunately for you guys, he simply does not put a foot wrong ever, and you can't lace his boots. As
The
soon as he
young
says he wants to put him on, who's gonna check him? The
the
young
young
bucks.
have jogged to tag team of the year. Mercedes has dog walked North American women's wrestling. This is truly, and guess what?
And Tony Storm.
And Tony Storm. And guess what? Osprey and Swerve are still at the house.
Just reloading.
You got
the demon versions. Y'all gonna get those two individuals.
Roddy Strong is putting up 6 man of the year minutes. You got niggas like Ishii and Pac and Shibata doing numbers crazy.
You know what?
Samoa Joe in their 40s.
Damn, it feels good to be all elite. That's something.
AEW got like a group of 40-year-old demons right now. Like it's
the unction.
Roderick Strong, Orange Cassidy, Samoa Joe. Who else is in it? Ishii. What he even doing here? Pac, Shibata. Who else is in the unction? Hurt Syndicate in there.
I was gonna say Hurt Syndicate.
They've been moving crazy lately. Like Claudio. Don't tweet me. Like, bro, I'm not listening to you. It's so many arguments I don't even engage with. I just block y'all. Because here's the thing, bro.
You don't know. Exactly. You don't know ball.
I'm sorry that y'all have to convince yourselves you like that slop. I don't do that. My young niggas, my old niggas, they all going nutty right now. We got people in their 20s and their 50s still putting up minutes, points on the board. Roddy Strong is doing some of his best work right now today. I don't know, y'all. They said Willow Nightingale signed with AEW 3 years ago this week. Wow. Look at that homegrown talent list, bro. Who know what to tell you? This match was God. It ended with an amazing finish. Afterwards, seeing the whole Don Callis family come out. Takeshita stood at the top of the ramp,
Hold
said,
on. Takeshita had he get his own music. First off, he said, "I'm not coming out with the rest of these niggas. I don't like that man."
and also too, I think I need Kyle to get that energy about himself too. He too much of a team player. Like, nah, brother, you got a belt. You actually hold
Exactly.
gold on this motherfucker.
Exactly.
Tell him
Maybe
to
that's
play
what
on
I
it.
mean, just with the TNT, but like he needs to
You
be
think
his own. It
you think that
hasn't felt like his.
so
Takeshita and Okada feels like the biggest deal in the world, and Kyle Fletcher, you do have a role in that.
I have a
But
question.
yeah,
Do you think that Kyle Fletcher should turn face?
I I will say my instinct is to say no because I think he's doing great work as a heel. I will say it would make sense, and AEW needs baby faces at the moment.
I agree. I think also too. I think that there's just so many heels right now, and I think Kyle could be such a great face, and it does. His story compared to everybody else in the Don Callis family is essentially like you have to think Don Callis essentially infiltrated his brain and told him that Osprey was gonna get rid of him, so he got to get rid of Osprey first, and that he never truly loved him, etc., and that he can make him a star, and all this yada yada. Like exactly his top priority is not disappointing Don Callis. Like he genuinely reveres and adores Don. He knows that something is wrong. Like even in that video when like when they were telling Don happy birthday, right? And Okada turns it off. Kyle is like, he looked at him, he said, now something's not right, but I'm trying to be cool about it. Of I don't know, like Kyle,
Exactly.
I think right now there are so many heels. They need baby faces, but they need somebody to have like a legitimate journey. Takeshi's gonna be one of those people, but like
That's
Kyle's
why I'm saying I think it makes sense for. I think if you have to make it happen, Kyle Fletcher would not be the biggest reach in the world, you know,
yes.
versus some of these other folks, you'd be like, all right, you know, how do we get here? But I mean,
Kyle
if
turning
Kyle Fletcher sees
will hurt
Don
me.
Callis straight up back Okada instead and like turn his back on Takeshita, I think that you have a case for Kyle Fletcher being like Don Callis is not the person that I thought that he was, and this my girl,
I think also too of just like because they didn't show it as much like the tension. Like obviously Kyle was on the wings, like we can assume what he thinks. They didn't show as much of the attention, like especially when they had that first face off, like a forbidden door. But like tonight with Kyle being, essentially the one to like break it up, I said, fuck, it's really gonna come down to them to him, isn't it? So this gonna hurt us.
exactly.
This is gonna hurt me.
Kyle Fletcher is gonna be the one that has to make a choice. Everybody else, we know where they stand,
They
So
just
I'm
gonna do
like,
what they gonna do.
and even if you want to turn him back heel again, once you got some of your baby faces back, you can always do that. You can always just say, "Oh, he was playing a long game. He was baiting, whatever."
Like
Now,
y'all
what I
should,
will say, and I think that the Don Callis family, like in its current iteration, obviously it's so powerful because it has so many belts. But you've got that massive faction. You can just have that be niggas that back Okada. Like that can just be.
but I think that's also the thing too. I think that's what's so interesting about the story is that seems like that's what it's turned into. It does feel like a bit of yes, this is the Don Callis family, but like tonight, the way that it was set up, this looks like
That's
Okada
this
in his
Okada's house. Exactly.
and also, bro, what a beast. Shout out to Cash Money Kazu. Y'all never do it like him, bro.
There
Like,
will never be another one like you.
no,
Cash
Jalen.
Money, and like I said, there's a lot that's going on in AEW. There's a lot that's going on in wrestling. To me, or for me, Takeshita and Okada is like the biggest thing in the
It
world to
is.
me.
I agree.
It is like the kind of aura that sends chills down my spine. I'm like, oh my god! And
Jalen.
every face to face and every moment they have together. Yes. Yes.
This
But
is so
you know what? If Kyle Fletcher was smart, honestly, Kyle Fletcher wants Proto Sheeta to catch on so bad, right? We the world always yearns for another Golden Lovers. We thought we were gonna get him back. We're not gonna get him back. If Kyle Fletcher were smart, he would capitalize on this. And this could be his moment to really make fetch happen.
no, this is what
Y'all go
exactly
on a little run, and then or real, yeah, that's what you can do. You can have him and Takeshita and Fletcher both leave the Don Callis family after what seems like a betrayal by Don Callis to to Takeshita, and then in the lead up to the match with Okada, you have them team together. It's them versus the world, and then you have Fletcher turn back with the Don Callis family at the
that is
very end, and then there you go.
literally what they did. But that's exactly what they did with Fletcher and Osprey. Like they went on a run for
Exactly.
weeks. They really, people got into it. I am the people.
Yeah,
It
me
was
too.
really that the chemistry was there, and then he killed him.
But honestly, but then I honestly think you can make that part of Kyle Fletcher's thing. It's like, no, he's a great performer, but like you cannot trust him. For as much as you might like Kyle Fletcher, for as much as you might think that he is healed, he is never healed. You can never fully trust him. I actually think that that's a really interesting thing to add to his character, for the long run.
You know what? It was interesting. Like even after him and Will fell out, like I don't know if you saw like the video packages that would come after that. Like Kyle would literally be like, it'd be videos of him staring in the mirror, like, "Will, I still love you,"
Yeah.
but
I think that should be an aspect of Kyle Fletcher's character from now on. It's like, yes, he's just so easily persuaded to be evil.
he is easily persuaded by older men. That is so funny. That's a great.
I get it. I mean, it happens.
Not Don Callis, but sure.
Period.
Many have said this, but
But yeah,
that's
no, like Chloe said, I love the idea, or like the premise that, like, yeah, eventually Kyle Fletcher will stab you in the back. For what reason, who knows? And to what end or when, you'll never know. But like, yes, you know how this will end.
wow. Wait, my AEW Don Callis fanfic.
There's a lot that you just said to me.
Wow, I'm the first person in my bloodline to read them words.
Same here.
I've never seen them words put together in a sentence before.
Can y'all do me a favor, y'all writers, please? Or really, can y'all do Kyle Fletcher a favor? He wants them proto sheeta fixed up so bad. Can you please help a girl out like he needs?
Bring them
And
out, bring
I
them
don't
out.
even read. I don't even read wrestling fic, but he down bad, y'all.
He said, "Please, please, 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 please."
Can somebody ship us, please, please?
Please, 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 please. They said no. You get Osprey, Proto Spray. There you go.
Matter of fact, he wants Don Callis. Like, whoa, what?
Oh God. Anyway, bald is not beautiful. Amen.
What? Crazy. Crazy.
Anyway, that was Dynamite, folks. We'll be back next week.
Guys,
For
next week, Halloween episode. Everybody wear a costume. Lurk and I are wearing costumes. And next week's episode of Black Girl Wrestling, guess what? We are gonna hire an Etsy witch and it's gonna perform wrestling spells. So everybody, let us know either on Twitter or literally right now what spells you want me to request from the Etsy witch. I don't know if she'll be like on the stream with us, but like,
you are a part of the elite or the conglomeration. Your ticket is already.
Yeah.
We've already put your request in. Hangman, you've already gotten your request for the year.
You are protected. Yes.
Yeah.
Hangman, you are protected. Kenny Omega, you are protected.
Willow Nightingale, you're on the list.
But yeah, hey, if y'all got faves and something happened to them, it is going to be because you did not participate in the seance.
Many are saying this. Is there anything that you would like to plug before we head out of here?
Guys, I got some really fun stuff coming up on Black Girl Wrestling this week, next week, and the week after. So for once, there will be some semi-consistent posting. Please pay attention and watch. I promise it's fun. I'm not just saying that. And so go subscribe to Black Girl Wrestling on YouTube and more specifically on Spotify. Please, 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 please. I'm not begging, just asking. Lyric, you?
Nothing this week, but hopefully, if everything goes well, I will have news to share next week.
Ooh, how ominous.
I'm excited for Halloween. And also too, if anybody knows of any get rich quick schemes, so I can buy a flight to Tokyo for Wrestle Kingdom. I'm so serious, like I'm dead serious. DM me.
Okay. Well, there you go.
Is Osprey on Black Girl Wrestling on the list yet for the witches? That too. We are praying for his healing in Jesus' name. Amen.
Well, no, I think that they mean coming
Oh,
on.
the witches.
Yeah.
Oh, it's coming on. Oh, that's a really good request.
You know, that's great. We hadn't thought about that. Wait, that might scare him.
We might not be able to.
Like,
Don't
yeah, you'd be like, an Etsy witch told me this would happen.
Can't record that one, but you know.
But yeah, we'll do it.
If you know, you know. If you know, you know. Wink, wink. Wiggle, wiggle.
Wiggle, wiggle. All right.
We will see you next week. Bye.
Bye.